Hello again, Gills fans, and welcome back to Gills in the Blood TV for our returning Monday review feature, which, like the match preview, has not been about for the last few weeks, but it is back now. I'm going to try and freshen up the format, do it slightly different to keep people interested, so please, as always, leave feedback. But other than that, let's crack straight on with what we've got to look at this week. As you can see, the first feature will be our look at the weekend papers, which includes the Football League paper from Sunday and today's edition of the Medway Messenger. So let's have a look through them. Match report is pretty bog standard in the Football League paper. So we shall look mainly at the Medway Messenger. As you've seen already on the graphic, the main headline is pushing to improve. Steve Lovell still looking to get his side better despite winning and coming from behind at the weekend, which is great to see, I think. Can never stop improving. I've always been told that in whatever walk of life you're in, so that's great to hear. But yeah, very good win. Not a great performance, but you don't get points for artistic licence in this game. You don't get bonus points for winning and playing nice tippy-tappy football. You get points for winning the game, and we did that and found a way to get over the line. Like I say, it wasn't the best performance, but we got the job done. Inside, we've got some good pictures. Bradley Garmston's free kick, which was great to see him get one. First goal since 2015, I've just read, which is staggering, but obviously he's had so many injury problems, so hopefully we can keep him fit. Gills show their resilience. Sorry, that's the headline inside. The scoreline was prettier than the performance on Saturday. Gillingham had a fight on their hands to claim 3 points after going a goal behind midway through the first half. Captain Lee Martin volleyed the Gills in front, and his 63rd minute effort proved enough just. I'm going to talk about Lee Martin in more detail, and I was very pleased for him to score the winning goal. As I've just said, and you've just seen on the graphic, Lee Martin is the man in question. Part 2, second feature of the week. I think he gets a lot of stick from people at the ground and on social media, and a lot of it for me, I think, is really harsh. This is a bloke that you've got to remember came back from a horrific ankle injury. Probably shouldn't have played the game again. Having a look at the pictures from that day at Leighton Orient a couple of pre-seasons ago, it was absolutely horrendous. His foot was pointing the wrong way. And then he got brought back early last season by Adrian Pennock. Probably wasn't fully fit, was played out of position in a side that was struggling for confidence, struggling for wins. So I think in terms of that aspect, he deserved a little bit of slack. And then he's become our skipper. And granted, he wasn't great beginning of the season, but who was? I mean, we didn't score for 4 games. Offensively, we're pretty shocking on the whole. But he's one player that you can't fault for effort. I've said a few times, I've not been his biggest fan. I think he could offer more, same as Scott Wagstaff, but that comes due to the reputation they arrived with a couple of summers ago. But some of the stuff I was hearing in the Rainham end on Saturday was just absolutely ludicrous. A waste of a wage, shouldn't be a professional footballer, absolute nonsense. And like I said on the Matchday Live, I was quite pleased to turn round to the person who was immediately behind us after the match-winning goal, who was stood there in stunned silence and wasn't celebrating. That's probably why Lee Martin's a professional footballer, and that's why Steve Lovell picks him week in, week out, and has him as his skipper, and us mere mortals just sit in the crowd and have an opinion on it. And I agree that we all have different opinions on different players. I mean, I for one, and myself and Boz and Stocky on Saturday were saying how poor we thought Bradley Garmston had been, and then he slapped a free kick in the bottom corner. So again, it's the same sort of principle. That's why we pay to watch and don't get paid to manage a football team. But yeah, Lee Martin, I was very happy for weekend. Gave him man of the match. Thought a lot of his work off the ball was excellent. Never stopped running, never stopped chasing down lost causes, and really pleasing to see him pinch the 3 points for us. And that's 3 goals he scored this season, and 2 of them have turned out to be winners, so long may that continue. Next up, I just want to have a little chat about one of our ex-players who came on against us on Saturday. That is Billy Knott, who arrived a couple of summers ago, again, to a lot of fanfare, big reputation. Was at Sunderland, I believe, as a kid, and then had gone to Bradford and done really well, and was almost coming home back down south to us. Didn't really work out for one reason or another, but there's a piece on him, just a little interview in this week's Football League paper, so I'm just going to show you the clip. That's from Billy, who says he's very excited to be joining Rochdale. A little bit earlier in the piece, Keith Hill had said about he tried to get hold of Billy a few times without success, and he's happy to have finally got him on board. But it was interesting that Keith Hill mentioned something about his fitness and that it's probably not quite where it should be. Now, that may come from not playing games, because he wasn't a regular at Lincoln, and he certainly wasn't a regular with us beforehand. But Billy's made a comment about it's great to be joining a team that's going to play football. And in his previous clubs, he probably hasn't joined teams that want to get it down on the deck. Now, we all have our own opinions on Justin Edinburgh, but I think for the most part of his reign at Gills, he wanted to get the ball down and play football the right way. So is it a case of Billy not being correct, or is it more a case of Billy not trying to pass the buck and blame others for his shortcomings at the moment and the fact that he's not played a lot of regular football? I will leave that for you fans to decide. But for me, it just seemed a bit of a cheap dig at maybe us and maybe at Lincoln City as well. And in terms of Lincoln, I think we said on the match preview, why would the Cowley brothers bring Billy Knott in and put him straight in a team that had been playing well last season, that won the title, the conference title, and got to round 5 or 6 in the FA Cup, seeing off Burnley on the way. You have to earn your right to play in these games, and you have to earn the right to get in teams. And I think Billy Knott could probably do well to get his head down and maybe just be a little bit quieter in the press and let his football do the talking if he gets the chance. But like I say, I'll leave that for you Gills fans to decide what the situation is with our ex-midfielder Billy Knott. But back to Saturday's game itself, and more reaction from that in the local paper. Goal scorers win praises, another headline in the Medway Messenger. Steve Lovell very happy for Lee Martin. I know he come out and defended him in the press last week, which he's going to do. It's great to see. And obviously Bradley Garmston, we've mentioned, horrendous time of it with injuries lately, but great to see him pinch the equaliser and get us on the road to recovery in terms of that game against Rochdale, which ultimately led to us picking up 3 points and moving up to the dizzy heights of 14th in the Sky Bet League One table. Mixed feelings after win is the next bit. There were mixed emotions for Gillingham manager Steve Lovell after Saturday's win over Rochdale. While the Gillingham manager was delighted with the 3 points, he also acknowledged that improvements have to be made. He said, "It was good to get the 3 points, but it was the first time after a game that I felt disappointed. But that shows what we are aiming for. It was not good enough, and we all know it wasn't good enough. We will work hard to improve. I thought we started very brightly second half, got Marts' goal to take the lead, and after that it became a mental thing, thinking, right, we are 2-1 up at home, we haven't won too many at home, let's hang on to it. I'm so pleased with the result, but perhaps the last 15-20 minutes wasn't one I would like to have every single week." I think that's brilliant. Like I said right at the beginning of the feature, he's still looking to improve, still striving to make us better, despite the fact that we've won 4 of our last 6 and we're unbeaten and we're second in the league table to only Plymouth. So shout out to them as well. Their form's been absolutely superb over the last few weeks, since they luckily beat us. But no, all seriousness, it's probably something that a few weeks ago, Gills fans and management, maybe we'd have just won the game and gone, yep, that's excellent. But now we're still striving to get better, and we're trying to improve on things, even though we're winning football matches. So that can't do any of us any harm, and long may it continue, like I say. But now on to the big one tomorrow night. Yes, it has finally arrived. It's not going to be rearranged again. You all know what I'm talking about, Gills fans. Look at them tickets, what are they all about? I could have made them myself and probably saved myself a few quid. But yes, myself and Stocky will be travelling over to the Gallagher Stadium tomorrow for a proper local derby. First away game of the season for me and Stocky, for those that like to go on about it on social media, bless them. Really looking forward to it. It's been far too long since we've had a proper game against these, and it's in the Kent Senior Trophy, Kent Senior Cup. And Steve Lovell has mentioned that these boys, they're coming up on the screen now, will probably feature tomorrow evening. Yep, Steve Lovell has said that we'll be sending a team over that will not be his first 11, and that's perfectly understandable. We have a massive game at the weekend at Scunthorpe coming up, but he has said that the likes of Stuart Nelson, Ben Nugent, Alex Lacey, Connor Ogilvie and Connor Wilkinson may feature, which is great to see. They need minutes and they will provide experience and a good side that can go and win the football match. So will we also see these boys lining up alongside them? I personally hope we do, because I think it'd be great for the likes of Aaron Simpson, Ben Chapman, Darren Oldacre, Greg Cundall, Liam Nash to all play in what should be a decent atmosphere, a proper atmosphere, in a proper cup tie. So if I was picking a team for tomorrow night, I would probably go with the following in a 4-4-2 diamond. I would go with Stuart Nelson in goal. I would go with Aaron Simpson at left back, Ben Nugent and Connor Ogilvie centre halves, and Alex Lacey at right back. I would then have Ben Chapman sat just in front. From the side of the diamond, I would go with Jake Hessenthaler and Darren Oldacre, and I would have Greg Cundall playing in behind Liam Nash and Connor Wilkinson. And then in terms of a bench, I'd like to see Tom Hadler on the bench. Maybe we can put Bradley Garmston on the bench because he's still coming back from obviously injury, so he needs fitness. Jack Tucker might be worth looking at from the bench, and maybe Elliot List. And then if we can chuck some youngsters in as well from the under-18s, that'd be a good experience for them. The only one I'm not sure is Bradley Stevenson. I can't recall whether he's out on loan or not. If not, I'd have him on the bench as well. But yeah, it's sure to be a really good game, really good cup tie, something that we're really looking forward to. And hopefully we'll see plenty of you over at the Gallagher Stadium tomorrow evening. In terms of a score prediction, which we do tend to do here at Gills in the Blood TV, I'm going to try and do one, but obviously it's difficult without knowing the side and obviously what Maidstone put out as well. But it's sure to be a proper football match. I don't think it's going to have a friendly feel like some of the earlier rounds in this competition do. They're going to be desperate to beat us. We're going to be desperate to beat them. And if I have to stick my neck on the line, I'm going to go for a narrow Gills win. I'm going to go Maidstone United 1, Gillingham 2. Right, that is just about it from me this afternoon. So thank you for watching as always. Please keep doing all the usual. You know the drill now. We will see you tomorrow, and until next time, up the Gills.